Talmud describe what the world of Gan Eden is like. Garden of Eden, meaning after our souls leave this world, they go to a place, Gan Eden, where there's no eating and there's no drinking. But the righteous, they sit there with crowns on their heads. And by the way, all those there are righteous because they've gone through the process of cleansing. And everybody gets there, eventually. It's a shorter ride to get there. They sit with crowns on their heads and they take the light and the radiance of the divine presence. That's what the Talmud says. Now, of course, it's a metaphor, crown, because there's no eating, drinking. There's only souls. There's no bodies. So the crown, the word atara, means something that encompasses a person. There's the person, and then that's beyond the person. Well, the crown is beyond the person. It encircles the person. This is a metaphor for the illumination that the souls get that is encompassing light. Encompassing light means it doesn't adapt to the container to hold it, to the vessel, right? Like when you pour water into the Tanya Rabbi mug, it contains it. And it takes on the parameters of the mug. If it was a big wide one, if it was a tall one, whatever it would be, it would take on the parameters. Well, this illumination of the divine that the souls have in Gan Eden is not, it is not fitting in, adapting to the soul based on their capacity, but it's encompassing them equally, meaning it's beyond them, that light. Likewise, the word keser, meaning crown, also comes from the word Keseris, which means the capital that's on top of a column, right, that holds up things. Well, the capital is sort of like the interface between below, holding on, keeping things grounded from below, and connecting to above. What does that mean? That refers to the sphira, the divine attribute of Keser, crown, which is an interface. That is an interface between the emanator, the infinite of God, and emanations, which is in the world of Atzilus. So Keser is that intermediary, bringing from the infinite and then bringing it to the finite in a limited fashion, because the emanation is limited. Worlds are limited. So it serves as that intermediary in order, it has intermediary means it has a bit of above and a bit of below, so therefore it can connect above to below. And that's what a capital is on top of a crown, the crown on top of a column. Right? So that's, of course, a metaphor. What is that metaphor? It's as follows. That in the future, this encompassing light that now radiates as a crown that is on top of the souls in Gan Eden, in the Garden of Eden, in the future, right, that light will become revealed. When? In the times of Mashiach, the Messianic era, and specifically in the second part of the Messianic era, called Chias HaMesim, resurrection of the dead. And that will be to all of it. It will be revealed. Presently, it's not revealed except for a small contracted light from that encompassing light to the souls that are in the Garden of Eden. Only contracted. It fills them. It goes from that infinite light through Chokhmah, divine wisdom, and from there it is trickling a divine light that tantalizes the soul in Gan Eden, the Garden of Eden, that they comprehend the illuminated light of divinity and are delighted by it. And that's what it says, that they're sitting with the crowns and they're delighting from it. At the same time that they're comprehending, they're also not comprehending. They realize there's something's beyond them, that a divine light that they can't apprehend, comprehend, can't connect to. And therefore, that's why those souls are waiting. Waiting for what? To come back, to be in a body, and come into this world. Because then it will be bestowed upon them through a soul that will come back in a pure, clear body that will be able then to apprehend, comprehend that which is beyond, transcendent. That light, the crown, that is beyond the soul in Gan Eden, will then become something that will be apprehended in this world, not now, in the times of Mashiach, in the times of Tchias HaMeisim. We will comprehend that. We will, that which is, again, beyond us. Now you might ask the question, how's that possible? If a soul that's not encumbered by a body can't comprehend that which transcends the soul, how is it that a soul that's in a body, that's encumbered by a body, right? Body has its own agenda, its own desire. How could it be that in that situation we will be able to apprehend, perceive, to have what's called Riyas HaMahus. Riyas HaMahus means seeing the fact, seeing reality, seeing the truth. The fact is the truth, and the truth is the fact. That you'll be able to see that clearly. How can that be if the soul itself isn't able to? So first of all, the body then will be a pure body. It won't be laden with the agenda that it has now of being completely self-directed. It will be purified. But yet that still begs the question. If the soul is not capable on its own to comprehend that which is transcendent, that infinite light, how are we capable? How can we do that? A soul in a body. So this is the concept that Sefer Yetzirah explains, that the beginning, which means the loftiest levels of the divine, is wedged in the end. So Keser, the crown, meaning the encompassing infinite light of God, the beginning, right, the infinite, utterly transcendent of anything called a world, is wedged in the very last place. It's wedged in the very last place. What is that? This physical world is the very last place in the creative process. Right? So that's in, and when will that be wedged in? At the end of time. Times of Mashiach. So the beginning in time of creation is wedged in the end of time, the ultimate fulfillment of creation. And the beginning of the process of creation beginning with the infinite that transcends any involvement within the world, is finally wedged in the end, the physical world. Likewise, this is also the concept that we say, Saif Maisa, Machshava Tchila, that the final deed is the original thought. Well, what was the final deed that God had originally thought of? This world. Meaning, parenthetically, when you want to build a home, what is your original thought? A home that's half done? No. A home that's completely finished in all of its details. That's what your original thought is when you think, this is what I want. To get there, of course, is a long process. But that's the original thought, is the final deed. So likewise, the original thought of God in creation was not Gan Eden, Garden of Eden, not souls in lofty places, not angels, but this physical world. This physical world. That's his original thought. And therefore, that's the original thought, that's the original intent, that's the original purpose. And therefore, the highest levels of divinity, the infinite that transcends anything and everything of this world, is meant to be wedged and to be expressed in the end, in this physical world. Because this is the whole point is here. This is a very important message. The natural inclination of people is that we're here for something greater than here. Now maybe something greater than this moment there is, you're right, but where's that greater moment? Right here, in this world. Not leaving this world. Not seeking to escape this world to find greater tranquility and peace in a higher realm, like the Garden of Eden. Because ultimately those souls await to come, to have that connection here. Because the original thought is the final deed. The final deed is right here in this world. The action that we take in a world, a physical world of action. That's what it is. However, concludes in today's class in the 17th letter, and we're in the middle of, that it's impossible to attain that higher level of attaining, apprehending the transcendence of God, that it should be a fact for us. Do we know that God transcends this world? Of course. Do you know that's true? Absolutely. Do we have a Riyas HaMahus? Do we see that emphatically? No. We believe it emphatically, but we don't see it. Sheikh Rabbi will see that emphatically. But before we can get to that higher level, we need first to attain the lower level that will be in the Garden of Eden, which is the radiant light of God that is contracted, that fills the soul in a way that it tantalizes it and gives it a delight. So before we can get to Sovev Kol Amin, we need Mamalik Kol Amin. Before we can get to transcendent, infinite light of God, that we can attain it, apprehend it, connect to it, be real for us, we first have to have the light that is contracted, that is limited, that is contained within my soul, that I can apprehend with my mind, that I can comprehend it and appreciate it. We need that first. Then we can come to the higher level. And we have to go to Gan Eden before we can go to Tchias. Amazing. Powerful idea. A bit quite mystical. Any questions? What's your questions? That's marvelous. You know what? It must be a marvelous Monday. So there's no questions. It's all clear. It will become very clear. But the more we learn, Tanya, see this, the more clarity that we have of the truth of the divine, the truth of God, the truth of our soul, that it's real. It's very easy to mistaken the truth of the five senses. And the five senses definitely are very real to the touch, real to the sight, to the taste bud, to what we hear and what we smell. But it's not as real as who we are, a neshama, a divine soul. Okay, I see that Sivya has a question. Okay, is the purpose of life to go to Gan Eden and then come back during Mashiach? So it sounds that way because you first have to go through Gan Eden in order that you can come to Mashiach, right? So no, that is because, think about it in life. Whatever you can understand. Whatever you is beyond understanding, okay, but whatever is beyond you, if you can understand it. And then there'll be things beyond you. So likewise in when it comes to the divine, whatever of the divine can be incorporated and we can understand with our minds, we need to understand. But then there'll be things that are beyond us. Well, that will come after. So likewise the process over here. There's the divine that the soul apprehends, right? Of course there's what we apprehend now, but the difference is we're not experiencing it now. Maybe that's the distinction. In Gan Eden we experience the divine. Here we have a little understanding. We're tantalized by it. We're, inspired by it. But there, we delight in it. We delight with that which we can apprehend. Times of Mashiach will be able to apprehend that which is transcendent. So you have to go through the process. So the purpose is not to go to Gan Eden. Gan Eden will happen, will happen when God wants us to leave this world. So that's not what we're working towards. I'm not working to have a better Gan Eden and therefore a better, times of Mashiach. We're actually working, and thank you, Tzibi, for the question, because it almost sounds like that's what we're working towards. No. The beginning is rooted in the end, so the whole point is here is a soul and a body. The whole point is to be here. So we're trying to create the here and now to be divine, to be godly. By us learning Tanya together, as we do, we're making real, authentic, that in the material physical world is the presence of God. And we're making a dwelling place, a home for Him here. Making that home for Him here, that will allow the soul and a body to be at home with the divine. And not just divine that fills the world, but divine that is transcendent in this world. And that will be real and authentic for us. It'll be a matter of fact. But it just means there's a process over here. We first have to experience the way the light of God is contracted and limited, that the soul is tantalized and delighted by. Then we can come to the higher level. But the point is, all of that, and that was chapter 37 in the first part of Tanya, we create that now. Which actually, Sylvia, thank you for the question, will be tomorrow's class, really, just realized. It'll be tomorrow's class. Beautiful. It will be tomorrow. Davido, when resurrection of the dead happens, will the soul return to the same body and the same divinity? Yes. John, in light of Kesser, the light experience of Adam and Chava, yes, it was also the Garden of Eden, right? It was also the Garden of Eden, exactly. Beautiful. Okay, I hope that was clear. Amazing. Amazing, all of you. Whoever didn't get a chance to watch the event last night, the 9th Torah scroll that was dedicated for the Jewish people, you can go to Chabad.org. It was quite something. All right. Rambam coming up. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you for Chabad Zechon Kadeshim in Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. Have an amazing, wonderful day. Thank you.